Some mornings, you wake up and feel like something is missing deep inside. Even though everything looks fine, you stretch, make your coffee, look out the window, but that silent part of your body feels disconnected. It's not pain, it's not illness, it's just an absence of something you once counted on. That early morning signal, the one that used to greet you without fail, has grown quiet down there. As a penis surgeon with over 30 years of experience, I've heard this quiet concern from hundreds of men. They say things like, "I don't feel sick, but I don't feel like myself either." And they're right. This isn't just aging. It's a shift in blood flow, hormone balance, and male confidence, a shift that creeps in slowly but affects everything. The good news is, your body hasn't forgotten how to respond. It just needs the right message. According to a recent study from Tufts University, one simple morning habit can support nitric oxide production, restore healthy circulation, and gently bring back that signal. In this story, I'll show you exactly how 1 teaspoon of natural oil might help your body reconnect with itself. If that speaks to you, leave a comment and hit subscribe because we're just getting started. Most men think slowing down is just part of getting older, but few realize what's actually happening inside. After the age of 60, your circulatory system begins to shift in ways that are hard to notice at first. But over time, you feel the effects deep in your body, especially in areas you once took for granted. What's really happening is your blood vessels begin to stiffen. When you were younger, they expanded easily and let blood flow smoothly throughout your body. But now, those vessels lose flexibility, and blood has a harder time reaching where it needs to go. Your body also produces less nitric oxide, a molecule that keeps your arteries relaxed and open. Without enough of it, your circulation slows down, especially down there. At first, it might just feel like you're colder in the mornings or you're getting tired earlier in the day. But over time, this quiet decline starts affecting your energy, your mood, and your confidence. And often, that part of your body that once felt alive and responsive begins to fade. This isn't something you did wrong. It's a natural shift, but one that many men never talk about. Instead, they shrug it off, call it age, and quietly adjust to a new normal. But the truth is, your body still wants to function at its best. It just needs a little help. Once you understand this shift, you'll see why supporting your circulation is more than just a comfort. It's a key to bringing your energy and identity back. And yes, even your connection to down there. That's where this tiny morning habit comes in. And, as you'll see next, it's far simpler and more powerful than most men imagine. When Richard first walked into my office, he looked like a man who had lost his rhythm. At 67, he was a retired site supervisor. Strong hands, sharp mind, but there was a heaviness in his posture that spoke louder than words. He sat down, sighed, and said, "Doc, I don't feel sick, but I'm fading. I'm not sure what to do anymore." He wasn't looking for a miracle. He just wanted to feel like himself again. That spark, that inner steadiness he once carried, was missing. And most of all, he missed that subtle morning response down there, the one that reminded him he was still in the game. I introduced him to something simple: a teaspoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed, taken first thing in the morning before coffee or food. No pills, no machines, just nature. I told him to stay consistent for 3 weeks and simply observe. 3 weeks later, Richard came back. His handshake was firmer, his eyes clearer. He didn't say much, but the way he moved said everything. I woke up this morning, and my hands were warm. He said, and then something else woke up too. He smiled, quietly, but with pride. This wasn't magic. It was his circulation coming back online. That 1 teaspoon acted like a switch, a signal that told his body it's time to respond again. It wasn't about performance, it was about reconnection. And for Richard, that gentle return meant everything. It sounds almost too simple to believe. 1 teaspoon of oil, taken first thing in the morning, could help restore blood flow and energy. But when you understand what olive oil actually does inside the body, you'll see why this tiny habit matters so much. High-quality extra virgin olive oil is rich in compounds called polyphenols, which are natural antioxidants. These compounds reduce inflammation in your blood vessels and help repair the thin layer lining your arteries called the endothelium. This layer is responsible for producing nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your arteries to relax and open up. When you were younger, your endothelium worked smoothly, but after 60, that function weakens, and your blood vessels become stiff and narrow. By supplying polyphenols every morning, you're gently reminding that system how to function again. That's why men who take the right kind of olive oil report feeling warmer in their hands and feet, more awake, and more responsive down there. It's not just about oil, it's about flow. And when your blood starts flowing better, everything else improves with it. One study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men who consumed high polyphenol olive oil regularly had higher testosterone levels and better circulation than those who didn't. This isn't about forcing your body to perform like it did at 25. It's about giving your system the support it needs to work at its best today. And here's what most people miss. Olive oil doesn't just help the heart or the brain. It supports the whole male system, including your hormone-producing glands and even your prostate health. That's why some men notice clearer thinking, better sleep, and steadier energy, not just physical response. It's a full system upgrade. Of course, it only works if you choose the right oil. It must be labeled extra virgin, cold-pressed, and high in polyphenols. That's the kind of oil your body recognizes and uses properly. Anything else refined, filtered, or light versions won't give you the same benefit. The quality matters just as much as the habit itself. So when you take that 1 teaspoon in the morning, you're not just sipping oil. You're giving your body a tool to open back up, to bring warmth, flow, and function to areas that may have gone quiet. And that includes down there, where many men first notice something coming back to life. By now, the habit seems simple enough, but unfortunately, many men get it wrong without even knowing. They try this morning ritual, feel nothing, and give up thinking it doesn't work. But the problem isn't the oil, it's how they use it. One man came to me frustrated after a full month of trying the routine. I haven't felt any different. He said, I asked him what kind of oil he was using. He pulled out a bottle labeled light olive oil from the grocery store. It wasn't extra virgin, it wasn't cold-pressed, and it had been stripped of the polyphenols his body needed to respond. Another man said he always took his oil right after breakfast. Eggs, toast, coffee, then the teaspoon. But by that point, his digestive system was already busy breaking down food, and the oil couldn't be absorbed properly. He was doing the right thing, but at the wrong time. Here's what I tell every man now. Choose high-quality extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed and rich in polyphenols. Store it in a dark glass bottle, away from heat or light. And most importantly, take it on an empty stomach before coffee, before food, right when you wake up. That's when your body is ready to absorb and use it. And don't skip days. Consistency is everything. A teaspoon here and there won't rebuild circulation or bring back that deep signal you've been missing down there. But a daily habit, done correctly, can help your body start working the way it remembers. Once the oil becomes part of your morning, something starts to shift. You feel a little more awake, a little more grounded, and your energy lasts longer into the day. But if you want to take it a step further, there are 3 simple additions you can stack onto this habit to supercharge its benefits, especially down there. The first is something called 4-2-6 breathing. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 2, and exhale slowly for 6. Repeat this for just 2 or 3 minutes after taking the oil. This rhythm calms your nervous system, lowers your blood pressure, and signals your blood vessels to open. Some men say they feel clearer, more focused, and even emotionally steadier within days. The second is the power stance. Stand tall, feet shoulder-width apart, hands on your hips, and breathe deeply. It may sound silly, but this posture lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and gently boosts hormone production in men over 60. And more than that, it reconnects you with your sense of presence and authority, the kind that quietly fades with age. Lastly, take a 10-minute walk in the morning sunlight. This isn't about cardio or burning calories. It's about reminding your body that the day has begun. The fresh air, gentle movement, and exposure to natural light help regulate your internal clock, warm up your muscles, and keep your circulation flowing. When these 3 steps are added to your oil routine, the results don't just improve, they build momentum. Your body begins to work with itself again. And many men report that down there. Things start to wake up faster and stay awake longer. At first, most men begin this ritual because they want to feel better down there. And that's a valid reason. That quiet part of the body, once full of life and signal, now feels dull or unresponsive. It's frustrating. It feels personal, and it often brings up emotions no one wants to talk about. But what has surprised me, after decades of hearing these stories, is that something bigger often happens. Men come back not just saying things are working better physically, they say they feel like themselves again. Their thinking is clearer, they sleep deeper, they stand taller, they feel present again, not just in their body, but in their relationships and their sense of purpose. One of my patients, Alan, told me something I've never forgotten. He said, "Doc, I came to fix what was happening down there, but after 3 weeks, it felt like my brain turned back on." That moment always stays with me, because circulation doesn't just affect one part of the body, it supports everything. Your heart, your memory, your mood, your hormones. They all depend on healthy blood flow, and when that blood begins to move again, so do you. The man who used to fade quietly into the background begins to reclaim his strength, his clarity, his voice, Not because he's chasing youth, but because he's remembering who he is. That's the real gift of this ritual. Not just oil, not just better function, but a return. A return to the man you used to be and the man you still are. If there's one thing I've learned after working with thousands of men over the past 30 years, it's this: your body still remembers. Even after 60, even after years of silence, even after you've quietly accepted the changes, deep inside, there's a part of you that's still ready to respond, still ready to live fully, and sometimes, all it takes is one small, steady signal to remind your body what it once knew. 1 teaspoon, 1 breath, 1 walk, done consistently. These tiny steps are not just routines, they're quiet commitments to yourself. They tell your body, I'm not done, I still care, I still want to feel alive. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about owning your strength today. With the wisdom you've earned and the resilience you carry. And it starts right where you are first thing in the morning, with a spoonful of healing oil and a moment of intention. So here's my invitation. Try it tomorrow morning. Just 1 teaspoon before coffee. Take a breath, step outside, and see what starts to shift. You might be surprised by how much strength is still left in you just waiting to wake up. If this message speaks to you, let me know in the comments below. And if you want more ways to restore circulation, energy, and confidence, subscribe now, because your next chapter isn't over. It's just getting started.